So hypothesis, the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis, how to prepare the null and alternative hypothesis, H0 and HA. So generally, the null hypothesis states that the null condition exists, that is, there is nothing new happening, the old theory is still true, the old standard is correct, and the system is under control. The alternative hypothesis, on the other hand, states that the new theory is true, there are new standards, the system is out of control, or something is happening. So, the alternative hypothesis talks about something new or some because of some new intervention or new experiment, something has resulted and something is out of control, that become your alternative. As an example, suppose the floor packages by the manufacturer sold by the weight of particular size of 5 kilo. So that is the normal thing that they. If something becomes 6 kilo or something become 4 kilo, that become the event that should be in the alternative hypothesis. So something is true, the old standard is correct, system is under control, that is known. Something a new theory, new standard, the system is out of control, something is happening, then become alternative. Suppose a company has held 18% market share. However, because of an increased marketing effort, company believes that the company's market is greater than 18 percentage and the official will look to prove it. So the existing is market share is 18 percentage. That is the null hypothesis. So the alternative hypothesis, the market share has increased beyond 18 percentage. That is the mu is greater than 80 percentage. So that you want to prove. So the new idea or the theory that company official want to prove is a state called the alternative hypothesis. So the alternative hypothesis, whatever you want to prove, something is different from the normal, that become your alternative hypothesis. The null hypothesis will be opposite. Suppose I want to prove that because of advertisement, the sales has increased more than 18%, so mu is greater than 18%. Suppose because of the increasing income, the stock market investment has increased. So the stock market investment increase is my alternative. So whatever I want to prove, because of this global greenhouse effect, the temperature has increased beyond 30-35 degree in Pune. In a that become my alternative. So null will be mu less than equal to 35. More than equal to 35 is my alternative hypothesis. So this is the way we can go about the first building of the hypothesis. Suppose we say that there is a effect of certain thing on certain thing. So there is no effect is my null. If there is a effect and I want to justify, that will be the alternative. So statistical test on the basis of sample size. So sometimes people, students used to confuse with the Z test with the T test. In most of application, a sample size n greater than equal to 30 is adequate when using expression to develop an interval estimate of population. If population is not normally distributed, but it is roughly symmetric, sample size uh, is as small as 15 can be expected to provide. So if the population is here, sample size of n greater than 30 is adequate when using expression to develop an interval estimation of population mean. So it is when it is not normally distributed, but it is roughly symmetric. Then more than 30 size is enough for a test. So this is the characteristic of the population. So if the sample size is as small as 15, can be expected to build a good approximation of confidence interval with a smaller sample sizes, the population distribution at least approximate normal. So 15 sample size is also enough if the distribution is symmetric and the it is normally distributed. So n greater than 30 irrespective of population distribution, n greater than 15 population distribution is symmetric even if it is not normal, and n less than 15 population distribution approximately normal. That will also suffice of your population sample size. So in most application, sample size greater than 30 is adequate when using expression to develop an interval estimation population. However, if population distribution is skewed or contain outlier, most statistician will recommend sample size 50 or more. So population distribution is skewed highly and outlier are there, then sample size more than 50 is required instead of 30. A population not normally distributed and symmetric sample size is 15, and can be expected to provide good approximation. If population is not normally but symmetric, but with a smaller sample size can work when population distribution is at least approximately normal. So this clarify the doubt what should be the sample size to go about a test. Sample sizes greater than 50 will provide a good result in almost all cases. Sample size greater than 50 give good result in almost all cases in the population. Approximately normal, small sizes less than 15 can provide a acceptable. In situation where the population cannot be approximated by normal distribution, sample size greater than 15 will provide acceptable result as long as it is not significantly skewed, means it should be symmetric. If population is significantly skewed, 50 is the good idea. So let us go to the two sample test. In most application of interval estimation testing procedure presented in this section, random sample size n1 greater than 30 and n2 greater than 30 are adequate. In case where either both sample size less than 30, the distribution population become important consideration. With a smaller size, at least distribution of two population are at least approximately normal if it is less than 50. So the two populations should be normally distributed, then a smaller sample size can also work. Two sample test in most application equal or nearly equal sample size n1 plus n2 greater than 20 can be expected to provide a good result even if population are not normal. If population is free from significantly skewed or contain outlier, large sample size are recommended. If distribution of the population is highly skewed, contain outliers, means sample size greater than 30 N1 and N2 are required for both N1 and N2. Smaller sample size should only be used if the analyst is satisfied that distribution of population is at least approximately normal. So N1 greater than 30, N2 greater than 30 for all cases. N1 plus N2 greater than 20 is not skewed or not having outlier. Is not skewed or not having outlier. If the then N1 plus N2 less than 20 population is normally distributed, then also it works. So this is the way what the sample size under what situation we need. This gives you a lot of clarity. First, you go about the population distribution. Population distribution give you an indication whether they are normally, whether they are symmetric. If this is there, then your small sample size is good. If it is symmetric but not normal, greater than 15 works. If it is not normal, not symmetric, then you should go about greater than 30, and highly skewed you should go, and with the outlier you should go about 50. So this is the way it clarify your sample size for your hypothesis testing. So I think all of you understood how to prepare null and alternative hypothesis and how much sample you should take for the statistical